Julie's mother arriving at the scene to see the horror.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Thank you for watching Why I Killed You TV. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe this particular video as well as this particular YouTube channel. Today, we're going to talk about another heartbreaking, another devastating tragedy that occurred that left the community shattered. We're going to dive into the devastating events that unfolded in Pembroke Park, Florida, where 4 innocent lives were taken in a senseless act of violence. We're going to be talking about the case of Xion McKenzie, his girlfriend Julie Cruz, and their children. So we're going to talk about Julie Cruz. Julie Cruz was 32 years old. She was a mother of 4. She was living with her children in an apartment at the Sundrift complex on West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. She was described by her friends and neighbors as a loving mother. Julie's life revolved around her children, 11-year-old Xion Solomon, 8-year-old Phiinyx Solomon, and 2-year-old twins, Nova and Emery McKenzie. She shared these children with Xion McKenzie, her twins, her set of twins, Nova and Emery McKenzie. But behind the doors of her home, Julie was trapped in an emotional, exhausting relationship with 34-year-old Xion McKenzie. Family members later revealed that Julie was preparing to leave McKenzie, tired of his mental strain, the emotional exhaustion, and worried about the safety of her children and their future. She was planning on leaving this guy.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.
Breaking news at 11 o'clock tonight, a family shot in Pembroke Park.
An infant and 2 toddlers among the dead. So let's get right over to Local 10's Terrell Fournier live at the scene with what we've just learned. Terrell.
Yeah, a really disturbing and unfortunate situation playing out here in the town of Pembroke Park tonight. And it all has to deal with this apartment building that you see behind me that now has the attention of a number of deputies from the Broward Sheriff's Office. They have taken over this investigation from the Pembroke Park Police Department. Let's get to this video because just a short time ago, the grandmother of those deceased children showed up to the scene, really crying and yelling, "That's my daughter. That's my daughter." She's talking about the children's mother, the deceased children's mother, who was also shot dead here at this apartment building. All of this playing out just after 7:30 tonight in the 3100 block of West Hallandale Beach Boulevard. We are told that that woman was in a relationship with a man, and at some point that man opened fire, shooting and killing that woman along with the infant, 2 toddlers, and also opening fire on a different 10-year-old child. That 10-year-old apparently survived the shooting, according to sources, and has been rushed to a nearby hospital along with that accused gunman. So again, all of this playing out in front of neighbors just this evening, just after 7:30 tonight. Here's what one neighbor told us around the time that it all happened.
I just get like 8 shots coming from the 4th floor. So I came outside, you know, and I saw the police, and one of my neighbors just told me that a man trying to kill all his family, like 3 kids and his wife, and then trying to kill himself. He shot himself, but I don't know if he survived.
Yeah, so just a heartbreaking scene as we learn more and more details from the Broward Sheriff's Office and, of course, from sources we've been working on this case as well. As you can see, the Broward Sheriff's Office, they have brought in their forensic response unit here to the scene, so it appears that they will be here throughout the night. But again, 6 total people involved in this situation. A man opening fire on a woman he was in a relationship with, and also that woman's children. 4 total children shot here, 3 of them dead, including that infant, 2 toddlers, and the 10-year-old is surviving this situation now at a hospital. A domestic situation, an unfortunate situation, as we are learning the details tonight.
On the evening of March 26, 2025, everything would change. Neighbors heard multiple gunshots ring out from Julie's apartment, and frantic 911 calls quickly followed. When authorities arrived at the scene, they found a horrifying sight. Julie Cruz had been fatally shot, along with her son Xion and the twin toddlers Nova and Emery. Miraculously, 8-year-old Phiinyx survived. Despite suffering serious gunshot wounds, she was rushed to the hospital in critical condition, but she showed incredible strength and resilience. After committing the unimaginable, Stephen McKenzie turned the gun on himself. He later died from his injuries at a hospital.
We continue to learn more about the victims involved in the family tragedy last week in Pembroke Park. Today, we've learned that Stephen McKenzie, the shooter, has died. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Trina Robinson. We're also hearing from a mother after her adult daughter and 3 grandchildren were murdered. NBC6 reporter Amanda Placencia is at Joe DiMaggio Hospital in Hollywood with the latest details.
My oxygen. My daughter and my grandkids were my oxygen, so right now it's hard to breathe.
Irma Denise says the loss of her daughter, Julie Cruz, has been a heavy burden, and the loss of her 3 grandchildren, 11-year-old Xion, almost 3-year-old Nova, and 2-year-old Emery, has been unbearable.
Missed them terribly. For me, it feels like it's a nightmare.
Denise says Xion died trying to protect his siblings. As Denise copes with his tragedy, she remains at the hospital tending to her 8-year-old granddaughter, Phiinyx Solomon, who was a lone survivor. She is progressing in her recovery, and Denise says she is working on opening a trust that will go to her granddaughter for physical and psychological therapy. Police say 34-year-old Stephen McKenzie is a shooter who also turned the gun on himself. He died in the hospital almost 5 days later. He was in a relationship with Cruz and was a father of Emery and Nova.
She called me on Tuesday that she was going to leave him this weekend. On Wednesday, I did not get to speak to her, and that's what happened.
Denise tells us McKenzie psychologically abused her daughter, and she was in the process of leaving him.
My daughter just called me and told me that she was exhausted from the mental abuse. It was up and down a lot.
Wow. Irma Rivera says she used to teach the 2 toddlers, Nova and Emery.
Every day they would come and they were like happy kids. They were little rambunctious little 2-year-olds.
She says she never imagined they would be gone.
And little kids. But we never, their dad always came and nothing seemed odd. We knew that they were separated. We knew that something was going on. But nothing like this, nothing like this, nothing.
Xion and Phiinyx were students at ECB Educational K-8 Center. The principal sent this statement, which read in part, Zion's laughter and quirky smile will forever echo in the halls of the ECB Educational Center. We will remember the roaring recess football victories with your friends. Phiinyx's contagious smile, warm spirit, and special giftings are felt. Whether she gives you a friendship bracelet or an impressive art piece, it is done with love. Feel better, Phiinyx. Denise had this plea to anyone suffering from domestic violence.
If you're in a situation where you feel unsafe, please leave.
Vanessa Medina is live in Pembroke Park with the latest on the man who police say pulled the trigger. Vanessa.
That's right. We're now learning that gunman has died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. In all, 6 people shot, 5 killed.
Grief counselors available Monday at Pembroke Park's town hall after a mother and her 4 children are shot. The gunman, her partner, Stephen McKenzie, then turned the gun on himself and was taken to Memorial Regional Hospital.
Crazy.
However, he has now died from that gunshot.
Domestic violence is definitely a scary thing, and it affects everybody.
Xion Solomon shared 2 children with Julie, Xion, who was shot and killed, and Phiinyx, who is still fighting for her life in the hospital.
She was struck 3 times. Twice in the chest region, 1 in her leg, and they did a couple surgeries. And Phiinyx doing what Phiinyx does. She's rising to the occasion, and she's fighting, and she's definitely trending in the right direction.
Phiinyx is the only survivor. In all, 6 people were shot last week, her mother and her 3 siblings.
No child deserves what happened to my children, so I wouldn't want that for anybody in the world.
Kelvin says Stefan and Julie were going through a breakup, and at a family picnic just a few days before the shooting, things got heated.
I did kind of nudge her to, you might want to make some provisions to get yourself out of the situation. He just didn't seem like, he was dealing with the separation too well. So I kind of warned her.
However, that warning too late after police say Stephen pulled out a gun.
It was like boom, 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 boom. And I'm thought, wow.
Julie's mother arriving at the scene to see the horror.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
Kelvin was also on the phone at the time of the shooting and heard the ordeal.
I was listening, and that's how I know what was going on.
Now his focus is on Phiinyx's recovery and bearing his 14-year-old son, Xion.
He's a hero. I want to make sure anytime his name is brought up that we remember that he's a hero. He died protecting his mother, he died protecting his sister, and that's it.
I went to his football game 2 weeks ago. After the game, he gave me this. He gave me this. And he said, Grandma, I want you to have this. I want you to have it.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.